welcome to Moneycontrol presents Crypto Control in association with WazirX, India ka Bitcoin exchange, where we delve into the nitty-gritty of investing in cryptocurrencies. In this exclusive podcast on cryptocurrency, we decode how cryptocurrencies work, their legal framework, why you should invest in them, how and where to invest, and how to add them to your portfolio. Today, we talk about how women can invest in cryptocurrency for financial freedom. And for that, I'd like to welcome two very accomplished and financially independent women to share their journey with us and inspire several other women listening in. So, joining us on the show today is Priyanka Sharma, the Senior Manager of Marketing and Communications at WazirX, and Tarusha Mittal, the COO and co founder of Oro Pocket. Welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for joining us on this very insightful and exciting conversation of how women can invest in cryptocurrency for financial freedom.
Hey Karunya, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have the two of you on board. Priyanka, I'd like to start with you. What does financial freedom mean for you? I mean, we will delve into cryptocurrencies, of course, but at large, tell us, how did you come about being financially independent in life, and how do you sort of plan your money?
Sure. Financial freedom, to be honest, it means buying anything without looking at the price tag for me. But on a serious note, financial freedom, according to me, is more about being in charge of your own life decisions and understanding my money matters, where it's going, to be able to, of course, save money for future in a matter where I can retire soon. Like, at least my goal is to retire at 45 and then travel the world. And that's what financial freedom is, according to me.
How about you, Tarusha? When did you learn that you need to be financially independent to do and accomplish and achieve so many things in life, whether it's personally or financially or emotionally?
See, I think we are all from middle class families, and we've seen the women in the family. If they are not really going out and earning their own buck, they even with most supportive families. Even then, there is a hang up at a later stage in life that comes in that you are not really earning your own bucks, so you might not feel very comfortable spending it the way you want. In order to actually live up to your full potential when it comes to life or to achieve your dreams, and whatever they might be, financial freedom becomes very, very imperative as you move forward, because it kind of gives you the freedom to take those steps to accomplish what you need to do. What Priyanka said, that it is about just buying something without looking at the price tag. Obviously, that it doesn't necessarily have to be like a material item. Like, do kind of booking experiences also come at a price tag. So everything somehow comes down to money, and just sort of making sure that you're living up to a life that you would hold close to your heart and would be ideal to you. Financial freedom becomes very important, and that is something that I saw very early on. And this is something that it was drilled as well by my own mother, who's been like a housewife, and now after her children kind of grew up, she's now looking at other things to do. But she also had that hang up at some stage in her life that that she's not really bringing her own buck. Or even, as I said, with the most supportive families, that kind of does come in, and that is exactly why I believe that financial freedom becomes very important when you are trying to accomplish anything in life.
So I wanted to understand whether this awareness and this need to be financially independent is also around you. What are you noticing among your female colleagues, your family and friends, etc.? Are they equally independent?
There is a growing need to be financially independent among my peers, especially women below the age of 35. Like, I'm seeing them wake up to investment options and going and reading about different asset classes, and especially participate in crypto as well. And I think this has been possible due to popular female influencers, finance influencers like Rachna Rana Day, and then uh, popular female oriented personal finance apps, which have done a lot to promote financial literacy among women. And interestingly, 50% of female users on WazirX are below 34 years of age. So here we can also draw an interesting analysis that the younger generation is more open to high risk investment options, and of course crypto being a part of it, we are seeing like a crazy growth in adoption by women on crypto.
Tarusha, what about you? What are the investing habits of women of the current generation, especially working professionals? Are you noticing any trends there?
Absolutely. I think there is a huge change. Women nowadays are like highly educated and they are a part of the workforce. So they have they have some spare money left around which they are looking to invest in, especially with the rise of crypto, with the rise of all of these digital, apps that kind of helps with investments, and they make it really easy that you don't really have to go around, go and get your verification etc done. It doesn't have to be done physically. It can all be done virtually by sitting at your own house, like Priyanka spoke about WazirX with Oro Pocket as well, with digital investments really making a surge here. We are seeing more and more women come and sort of starting their investments, and especially because there is a lot of again, with all of these apps, it's possible for women to start their investment with a low price point, at a low point, because of fractional ownership etc. So I feel that women are slowly becoming more conscious about the fact that they alone are responsible for their financial freedom and securing their own financial well-being. I would say that awareness is on the rise, definitely, especially with pioneers in the space. There are influencers, they seem more entrepreneurs. And I believe that it has been a slow, gradual process, because a lot of women are, like mostly all women are now, at least in the urban spaces, are educated and they are more aware. And with that awareness, obviously, they are taking steps to secure their future.
Let's talk about building one's portfolio because right now, as Priyanka had pointed out, it's mostly younger women who have started really investing, and even on WazirX platform, she's seen a fair amount of traction from that demographic. So when we talk about investing and financial planning in a better way and building your own corpus for whatever goal you may want to achieve, how can one add cryptocurrency to that portfolio? Priyanka, since you are associated with WazirX, if you could share some thoughts about how they could, go about planning and introducing an element of cryptocurrency to their basket of investment.
Definitely, Karunya. The first step to investing in crypto and building a portfolio with crypto is to understand that it's a high risk and high return investment option. Now, earlier people would invest in instruments like equity and debt funds based on the 100 minus your age rule, and then add some gold as a hedge. Now, what you can do is probably reduce 10 to 20% of your equity allocation amount with crypto, and you can always change this percentage, tweak it based on your risk appetite. And in crypto now, if you can either invest in top assets like bitcoin and ether, if you want to play it safe. Otherwise, you can always diversify to more crypto options, and you can always check it out on websites like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, to understand where you want to invest and diversify. So this is an approach that I have been following for myself, and it's not a financial advice, but it's a great way to I think it's a great way to get some exposure to rising alternative asset classes like crypto, and also not just from a finance, like personal finance angle, but also to kind of get to be more aware about what is happening in the technology front.
What is your view here, Tarusha? How important is it to diversify one's portfolio and especially by adding something as interesting and exciting a space as cryptocurrency?
Regarding diversification, I believe that diversification is key when it comes to investments, because you might not have the correct know-how for any. You might not be an expert in any asset class, and there can be a lot of volatility, especially when it comes to say crypto holdings, because this space is still in its infancy, and it is good to have a hedge, and just to make sure that your financial security and your savings are kept safe, and you are able to get the best return on your investment. So I think the old rule where where it says that you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket, It holds very true, especially when it comes to investments. So one should invest in multiple asset classes, be it gold, equity and debt funds, real estate, crypto, all of these. It should be a good mix to make sure that you are really leveraging every asset class and you can get the best of every world.
Priyanka, what role can crypto play when it comes to achieving one's long term financial goals? How can cryptocurrency investments expedite that?
The beauty about crypto, especially like Bitcoin, is that it's a deflationary asset class. This means it has a limited supply and hence it acts as a great hedge against inflation. Because of the fact that it's an appreciating asset, its value will also keep increasing as more and more people grow to adopt it. And this is what has been happening since last year. I mean, at this point, exactly like on today in 2020, probably one bitcoin was worth around $11,000, and as of today it's worth around $49,000. And it's been growing due to like a bunch of reasons, like increasing institutional adoption, and which in turn drives retail adoption. And this is also the fact that crypto is not, it's backed by technology, it's backed by like a revolutionary technology like blockchain, which is why it is again a great asset to have in your portfolio, and it's a very smart choice to add it in your investment basket.
Arusha, do you concur?
Absolutely. I think that, crypto kind of is, crypto and blockchain are great equalizers. So, you can actually get into this space, in the DeFi space, especially with all of these financial services with very little resistance. As long as you have like a mobile phone and a working internet connection, you just need to sort of learn some ropes and really be able to make investments and enjoy like a plethora of financial services very easily as against the traditional markets.
We're seeing a huge trend where women are investing in crypto like never before. Priyanka has also flagged off some statistics earlier on in the conversation. Priyanka, can you tell us, on an average, how many women are trading on WazirX? What are the stats, if you could give us some details?
So WazirX has around 7.4 million as of users as of today, and women account for around 15 to 17% of our total user base. At the outset, it does not look like a great stats, because of course we see that women are still underrepresented in crypto, but slowly and steadily this perception is changing. But on a silver lining, the women signups on WazirX has grown by over 2,800% since July 2020. So that's a fantastic news. And even more interestingly, we recently published a data report where we observed that 65% of the total signups done by women from all over India was actually done by women from tier 2 and tier 3 cities of India. It's very heartening to see that crypto is not just a cool asset class which is kind of dominated by metro cities. We are seeing equal and in fact heavy participation from smaller regions like probably Ahmedabad, cities like Jalandhar and all. And more women from these areas are participating in crypto to achieve financial freedom.
Tarusha, are you witnessing any such trends, especially from semi-urban tier 2, tier 3 cities?
Yes, actually, I would concur totally with Priyanka that there has been kind of a change of after this unfortunate COVID wave. People are at home and they are looking at different ways to perhaps where they can put their money to make it work for them. Also, during this time only, we've seen a surge in the number of women who are participating in this digital economy, and they are looking to perhaps looking at like a digital gold investment. So we've seen a surge, but obviously the stats are nothing to write home about. It's still pretty skewed in terms of gender bifurcation. But yeah, there has been a surge from not just like the tier one metros and the tier one cities, but also from tier two cities as well. So there has been a slight surge. It's heartening to see though.
So, what do you think is the reason and the drivers for this trend, Priyanka? And how can other women also learn from this? Are there any stories that you'd like to share, perhaps?
So, adding to what Tarusha said here, the pandemic has been the biggest driver of crypto adoption in India because it has generated like a new income avenue for people, and women are no exception to this. And another contributing factor to the growing crypto awareness among women is the fact that there is today more and more activities like influencer marketing on platforms like Instagram and YouTube. More mainstream influencers are creating content and educating the masses around crypto, and not just in languages restricted to English or Hindi, but in various regional languages. So this has also created a lot of buzz around crypto in India. So as we have seen such people like the KOLs speak more about crypto, we have also seen an emergence in popular female traders, and I personally happen to know a few of them, and they are doing a phenomenal job at onboarding more women into the space, again spreading more education and busting myths around crypto. That has again played a huge role. And another factor here would be the fact that crypto operates 24/7. Crypto does not sleep, and it's very easy to enter the market. And again, this is something that's made it more accessible to women in India. I think we need to see and more women in the space and more women talking about crypto, so that it makes the space less intimidating for other women who are just sitting on the fences deliberating on whether to enter the space or whether it's too complex. So education is the key, and I'm sure as we see more women talk about this and show that it's not a big deal, we'll see huge participation from women.
Priyanka, how can we enhance or augment participation from women? What exactly needs to be done in this space to encourage more and more women to come on board?
So there are two things we need to do, according to me. One is uh, we need to create more content, more like generalized content to help women understand and decode crypto. Because right now, I mean, it's said again and again, and I'm going to say it again here, that it's crypto is at the juncture of tech and finance. Both the sectors are hugely underrepresented by women, and this is why this sector looks all the more intimidating. So when so I started my journey by reading more and more content around crypto, and which was, I mean, like some very easily written content, some YouTube videos, and that's how I learned about crypto. And the more we create content, it's the more we are going to, of course, help women. Another thing that probably can help women is more women talking about it, because then that makes the sector look less intimidating. I mean, it's natural. I don't know how many of you would agree with me here, but if you walk in a room, where there is no woman, and there are like you only see men, at least I have felt this way. I have felt a little intimidated. But the moment I see one woman in the room, even if it's just one woman in the room, it's been very, very placating and very comforting. And we need to fill up the room with more women, so that more women who are looking from the outside are kind of inspired to enter the sector, or not enter, but at least understand it better.
Tarusha, any myths or any common mistakes that women or any misconceptions that women tend to have with respect to crypto that you would like to flag off?
Absolutely. I think, as Priyanka said, that, it's a very male dominated field. So that can be very intimidating to the untrained eye, perhaps. People believe that if you need to get into this space, you need to be perhaps from an engineering background. And that is not true. And I'm talking about if you're looking to perhaps, get involved in the space in a more hands on manner. If you're perhaps looking at, say, investments, again, people associate crypto. There are a lot of incorrect notions. They associate crypto with like a Ponzi scheme or a quick way to sort of get rich sort of a way. But you need to look at it as an asset class and evaluate it as per your risk appetite. You should really know about what you are investing in vis-a-vis the tokens. If you're like investing in, say, some altcoins, if you're investing in some currencies, you should understand the basics. Because even if you are like making a choice about putting in money, say in equity or a debt mutual fund, you do look at where that money is ultimately being pooled in by the company, the asset management company. So if you're going to be doing that much of DD with a particular asset class, the same goes for crypto. So one misconception is that okay, it's very complicated, and I think that with any sort of an investment that you're doing, it will be complicated because you've never really learned about it, and we usually fear things that we don't understand. So start the journey of trying to just read up a little and bust those myths yourself, because it's not complicated as it seems at the very onset. It's not that intimidating to get into it. It is not all about just the crazy charts and numbers. You need to understand the value proposition that is being held by these tokens before you perhaps make an investment in them. So those are, I think, some basic misconceptions that are there. Also, the fact, this is very common, and I was hoping that it was probably become redundant by this time, but a lot of people still believe that you have to buy one whole Bitcoin, and it's fractionalized. So any of these tokens, you don't have to buy one whole of that particular token or currency. It's all fractionalized in nature, and you can start your investment with a lesser quantum as well. So that would be, I think, one top myth that still exists to this day.
Priyanka, any do's and don'ts that you would like to tell our viewers, or rather listeners on the podcast?
Yeah. So the most important rule here, or most important do here, would be to do your own research. It's very important. Before investing in any crypto, please make sure to read its white paper, understand, read about the team behind it, see the project activity on social media to get an idea, fair idea about it. And secondly, you should always invest in crypto based on your risk appetite, because I repeat, it's a high risk and high return investment option. Another thing here would be, if you want to consistently invest in crypto and build a portfolio around it, then you should follow the rupee cost averaging approach. That is, like an SIP. Follow, invest a steady amount every month. And don't be greedy. Crypto is not a get rich quick scheme. Do not fall for any scams or giveaways, where they ask you to send crypto and then they'll give you 3x in return. This is not legit. It does not work that way. Crypto does not work that way.
Well, I hope our listeners are taking notes of all of these do's and don'ts before they decide to take the plunge and finally would want to diversify their portfolio further and introduce a slice of cryptocurrency as well to their portfolio. Thank you, ladies, once again for taking time out and for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing all of these insights.
Thank you, Karunya. Great talking to you.